Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ron Wallace here again on Ballin' Down South Sports Network with another episode of the interview. Today we're coming from the JUCO ranks again from the ACCC Conference, Region 22 in the Southern Division. Another JUCO coach. He's a local product here. He went to school in this state. I can tell you, he has a wonderful women's basketball team. Also, he's an athletic director of the same university of the same school. So I can tell you, we got none other here today than Trent Eager. How you doing today, Coach Eager?
I'm doing good, doing good. Thanks for having me.
Pretty good. Glad to get you guys on here. I've been going around. I guess you can say I've been going around the whole coaching realm of from JUCO all the way up to Division One. So I can tell you, you guys had a pretty good season this past season. Before the pandemic came, you guys made it all the way to the quarterfinal. But first of all, let's let people know who Coach Trent Eager is. So just talk a little bit about some of where you went to school and how you got your first coaching gig.
Okay, I'm from born and raised Monroeville, Alabama, and I got my first coaching job at Monroe County High School, which is my former high school where I graduated from. Um, After playing college basketball, I finished my college career at Jacksonville State. I went back home, and my first job was at Monroe County and assistant coach. And in 2009 and 2010, I was the actual head coach there, and spent 2 seasons as the head coach, and was blessed to get the job at Alabama Southern Community College in 2012. And I came to Bishop State in 2016. So I've been in the JUCO ranks in Alabama in two different schools, which has been a blessing. And Bishop State has been nothing but a big step up for me.
Now you guys are hot off of tourney appearance in the ACCC in Region 22 in the Southern Division. You guys ranked third in the Southern Division of the ACCC, and I can tell you, you guys were what 14-14, 8-5 in the conference. You guys lost to Wallace Hansville. That was a pretty good game. I was able to watch that game. But talk about this past season with some of the players you have had and how you guys were able to accomplish even to make it to the attorney.
This year was, of course, our best season yet. Myself, my staff, we've been in place for 4 years. This is my fourth year here, and we've just tried to change and implement our culture into this program. And this year was the culmination of the foundation of what we've tried to build. We've had some sophomores to come through, as all the players who've come through since day one have really helped brick by brick to lay the foundation. And this year, this group has really, molded that in together. Valerie Samuels, Megan Williams, Faith Antroy, Kendall Alvarez Simmons. Those are just a few of the players that have come in and done their 2 years here and just continue to leave their mark on the program and helped us get to where, we wanted to be. You know, Valerie Samuel is a sophomore who 4.0 student athlete who's now going on to Virginia State. Faith Fantroy, another 3.8 GPA student athlete who's going on to Fort Valley State. So all of our kids are coming in and really buying into the program, to the work that we, demand from them as far as, putting in the work in the weight room and in the gym and in the classroom. And they're coming in and being successful. And now we're, as a program, seeing the benefits of it.
Well, also too, to add to your credit, and with those young ladies helping get you Region 22 South Division Coach of the Year. So congratulations, hats off to you on that, and you and your program. Let's talk
Thank
again
you.
about the academic part side of it. When you look at a kid coming out of high school, what are some of the things on the academic side versus because you're looking at them that they athletic wise they're good, but what do you expect them to do once they get to your program, get on your campus over there at Bishop State?
We look for discipline. When I say that, you kind of look at the track record in high school with being a student athlete, how they fared with, sports and classroom. Have they put an emphasis on their academic side as much as they put an emphasis on the athletic side? And the reason being, there's a direct correlation between athletics and academics. Meaning, if a kid is going to work this hard in the classroom to achieve a 3.0, 3.5, 4.0, chances are they're going to work that hard on the court, and vice versa. Typically, your hardest workers, your most competitive kids are going to be competitive as far as their classrooms, as far as all of their academic things. So that makes a difference. We try to look at those things, how disciplined kids are, where they are in their classes. We're not a program that stresses all kids have to be a 4.0 student athletes, but we just look for disciplined kids who are willing to put forth the effort and know that high character. We know that they understand that they have to be at study hall. They have to have these academic meetings. They have to go to class. And once we get those kids, they usually fall in line with what we want to do as far as our program on and off the court.
Now, Coach, you got some young ladies coming back that was on your roster last year. They should be sophomores this year. One in particular, forward Naja Scott, just one of many athletes that you got coming back on your roster. Talk a little bit about her and some of the other kids that you got coming back.
Naj is a kid from Shreveport, Louisiana, and she is one of our hardest working kids. Very humble and tough nature from the standpoint of working hard and accepts coaching and wants to be coached and wants to be critiqued and wants to get better. Um, Throughout this whole pandemic, she's still putting in work at home and doing what she needs to do with everything as far as even schools and everything. And she's recently, gained a little more exposure. She picked up an offer a couple of weeks ago from McNeese State, and just things are just really growing for her. And that's a testament to her development over the course of this first year with us. She's put in the work that we put on her as far as individual work, as far as group work, and as far as teamwork.
Coach, you there? I lost you, Coach. Seems like we lost
Hillcrest
Coach Eager.
Tuscaloosa was our leading
We had
scorer
lost
this year.
Coach Eager. We had lost you for a minute. Can you repeat what you
Okay.
said?
Which part? Which way? I don't know where
You
you lost me, but I'll go back as far
I
as Naja.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay. Naja Scott, again, she's from Shreveport. She was a kid that just, picked up on everything that we put on her as far as the demands of working, as far as the weight room, as far as the individual workouts, team workouts, group workouts, and even the classroom. And, just her buying into all of that, it just added to her receiving that first offer from McNeese State and getting interest from other schools. Like I said, she's a kid that just does everything that she needs to do. As that's one of the qualities that we try to look for in kids, when we recruit them or bring them in. Is this kid going to be a great teammate? Is this kid going to be somebody that we feel like can buy into the program, or is going to be someone who takes away from the program? But she's one of the ones that we're very excited about returning. Another one, Anaya Banks from Hillcrest, Tuscaloosa. She was our leading scorer this year. Had a knack for scoring the ball, putting the ball in the hole, and for a freshman, for her first year, she had a pretty good year. And we're just really excited for her to get back into the mix and help to push and lead the freshmen that we're bringing in. So we're just really excited for the whole mixture of kids that we're having. Of course, we have more that we're bringing back that has really contributed to the program.
Well, one thing too. What have you been an athletic director? What are some of the changes you brought to the Bishop State program, sports program over there at Bishop State that wasn't there before you got there?
Well, number one, our facilities we had to upgrade and update quite a few of our, which we're still not there. But in order for us to be as competitive as we want to be within our region, within our conference region, and even more, we had to update some things. We've added in a new weight room, which has been tremendous for the development and the rehab of all of our student athletes. Kids can come in and get rehab or whatever they need with the trainer, but also kids are able to help develop their bodies and get themselves ready for competition. So that's been the number one thing. We've also added in an academic focus point. We've added in an academic learning lab in the gymnasium to where all of our student athletes and all students in general can come and get some extra tutoring. There's an advisor there. So when we have our athletes, it's close enough that, if we're in practice and a student, let's say a student remembers that, there was a deadline for an assignment, they could just go upstairs and get on the computer and do their work. And for us, that has helped us tremendously raise our GPA, raise our credit hour production, and also raise our graduation level. In the last 2 years, we've seen a incline in all of our graduation. Last year, women's basketball had a 100% graduation rate, and this year as well. So we're seeing the fruits of our labor from that aspect. Those are just a couple of the major key things that we've had to do is update those and upgrade our focus on that.
Well, let's talk a little bit about two in particular recruits you guys got coming in that's already signed that's on your roster. Santiago out of Pine Forest and Gildersleeve out of Moss Point. What did you see in those two athletes and wanted to bring them into your program?
Well, number one, in both of them, I saw hardworking, competitive, winning, good, high character kids. Aside from what they could do from an individual standpoint, I think those attributes are what we want to add in to our team. Hardworking, they're committed, they're good teammates. So we felt as though that they would be really good for our program. Going to Santiago, Carlicia, she was just a super quick kid, could shoot the ball, and definitely a competitor. Out in the forefront, you need a competitor out, at the front. If you've got four teammates behind your point guard and you see that she's out there competing and scrapping, it makes you want to do nothing but play with and play harder for her. But she fits our style of play. We like to get up and down the court, and she can stretch the defense. So, we really liked her. Even from last year, we've liked her over the course of time, and we're blessed and excited that she decided to come in. And
That's
Gildersleeve, about the same. We really liked her, even from last year. And what really attracted me to her was the way that she could really shoot the ball. She could really stretch the defense, and she's a strong shooter. And that was one of the things that we needed. And out of the kids that we were looking at and recruiting, we felt as though she would be the best. And so, we're excited to bring her in as well. And a good local products that would help fans and their families and everything. So.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you about recruiting here locally. How has that been for your program and recruiting a kid locally? That brings in the fanfare, so they're gonna spend money, they're gonna support the program. Uh, what's the furthest that
Mhm.
since you've been your tenure there at Bishop State, that you reached out, trying to get a kid?
Well, I typically try to, we're usually reaching out to the Georgia area. We're reaching out to Texas, and Louisiana, those more southeastern regions. We typically try not to get kids from too far that they don't have support, so to speak, from family, and they can't get home or whatnot. But from time to time, we do get a kid that's from 7 or 8 hours away. As this year, we have a kid that's from down in Florida near the Bradenton area. So she's a little further. And typically, we don't get as many kids from further away, but we do get some kids that are, from the 3 hours, 2, 3 hours away. So the furthest is down in Florida, is probably in Louisiana, the furthest of a kid.
Well, I can tell you, there's a lot of kids along the southeastern part of the United States, definitely that you guys can definitely benefit getting. So how have you guys been able to keep in contact, with your players? I mean, y'all, the pandemic has pretty much got everybody down. Uh, anything your spirits or young ladies coming back in, what are they trying to do to make sure they're ready to rock and roll when the season comes back around again?
Well, what we've had to do is we've really had to be creative. Video chats, actual just sent videos and communicating that way has been the biggest thing, the priority. All of our recruiting efforts, turned into virtual. So, it went from, me going out to visit with a kid and their parents to me sending a kid a video of everything that we have and what we try to do and what our plans are for our program, as well as me FaceTiming that kid and, just being on a FaceTime visit. So it's just been, a different change. It's been an adjustment. And that's one of the things I say in coaching. Coaching is just all about adjusting to whatever, whether it's in game, whether it's personalities, whether it's character, whatever it is, you just have to adjust. And this is one of those things. What we've done as far as our kids that are coming back, we keep in contact from a group standpoint, and we always, hey, this is what we expect for you to be doing this time while you're at home, or this is what we like for you to be doing while you're away. And once we come back, we're all going to bring it back together and, put it together and, move forward. Our biggest focus point right now is to make sure that our kids, our student athletes, maintain where they are from an academic standpoint, because we don't want any kid to come back and they fell behind from an academic standpoint. With all of this, everything's online, so it's a little tougher for the students. So we try not to put as much physical work on the kids that they forget about their academics, because we'll have a different problem if we do that.
Well, Coach, man, we definitely appreciate you for coming on the network. Ladies and gentlemen, this is head coach, athletic director at Bishop State women's basketball, Trent Eager. Thank you for coming on the network, Coach.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.